instrumental. Oh, I can't listen to that. What the hell? Can't listen to that. Okay, so I wanted to talk about a few things. Let me turn this off actually. Okay, I see it. All right. My name is Official Tanya Michelle on TikTok. I am Tanya Michelle Fraser by government name, and I am at 1266. I live at 1266 Barrington Street, Halifax, Nova Scotia, also known as the Waverly Inn. Bonnie Alexandra Reingold, also known as BonnieLou Fraser of North Preston. All right, she's trying to take down my live, y'all. Hold on. This is ridiculous. Myself, Tanya Michelle Fraser, and every single woman under this roof is not safe. We are not safe. We are being targeted by Bonnie Alexandra Fraser Reingold. And I have the data. And I have other data as well. Hold on, y'all. I got to do this again. Hold on. Because I got to get this set up. She's fucking with the thing. Are we here? Someone hit that like. Someone hit the thumbs up if you can hear me. I don't know why I would. Never mind. I do myself. I don't know why I asked. Okay, we're good. Yep. Yeah. All right. So, again, my name, thank you. My name is Tanya Michelle Fraser. I am currently housed at the Waverly Inn, 1266 Barrington Street in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Bonnie Alexandra Reingold, Fraser Reingold, is my biological mother who groomed, trafficked me, and sold me into torture when I was 14, but she started when I was 8. Every single woman under this roof is being targeted and tortured under the commission of Bonnie Alexandra Fraser Reingold and whomever else in her direct high counsel as it relates to the First Family cult, the 764 cult, the Fold cult, the Daddy's Girls cult, and any other subcult under those cult names. Specifically, the First Family cult is the parent cult. Bonnie Alexandra Reingold is utilizing tactics as target to other residents and other staff members of the YWCA that provide support or here as a resident under the YWCA program. She is utilizing contractual agreements and contracts, but they're not really legitimate contracts, but not non-bindable contracts as it relates to illegal activities, not by those targets, but by the commission of Bonnie Alexandra Fraser Reingold. These women are told to do specific tasks or else, and that or else includes death. There have been multiple attempts, not by these residents or staff, not that I know of, on my life by Bonnie Alexandra Reingold, as well as many other members of my family. Each member of this housing program or the supportive program or supported program or whatever else are scared. People are coming by. Bonnie is sending people. There are people by today that are directly connected to the cult. They're color coded. There was another van sending out there today. Peace of mind. Yeah, I got you. So that the owner of Peace of Mind is color coded. The electric company that was here today is color coded. The owner. And they are doing specific things like sitting outside people's windows saying specific things, all recorded. I close my window and then they raise their voice, all recorded. Open my window back up and play Cardi B. Hello, I'm here. All recorded. But, Bonnie's mission, because this all started back during the council meeting where they decided that they were going to restore the Waverly Inn in a restoration project, historical restoration project that many of the public were against anyway, because it would be a big ass eyesore in a small historic district. But there's developers, right? And we know that, Halifax has this big, push because of the port in the next 10 years. So not that saying that the developer knows, but Bonnie already has orchestrated and commissioned the murder of Joanna Grant. Bonnie Alexandra Fraser Reingold is responsible for the death of Joanna Grant and probably received payout on it by force. Okay? There are thousands of deaths across the border that are being investigated right now. There are thousands of murders on this side of the border, Canada, that are going to be investigated, including if anything happens here. And I'm going to get to some direction here because over the next 48 hours, there's going to be some specific instructions because historically, this is a huge time for Bonnie and deaths. So, the developers for this building have a 3-year plan, but they told us in this program it was a 5-year plan. Every single woman that's in this program, even those that are staff related, Bonnie has in one way or another has sexual relations with one of their elder family members. Hence the reason why these women are under this roof. These women are under this roof to target me in a sick Hunger Games type atmosphere where they are also the target. It's either they do this to me or else. Either the staff does this or else. We are fully aware of this. This is historical, what has happened on the other side of the app as it relates to the cult activities. Electrical fires are one of the #1 most undetectable ways to, investigate a fire. This is an old ass building and they have a big ass project. In fact, just to give you a gauge of the finances that they didn't post, the private financial ledgers that they didn't post, but because they're saying, well, the public isn't paying for it, which that's how they go, that's the loophole. But we are the public. I'm the public. Every single woman in here is the public. So although we're not going to be paying for it in taxes, Bonnie, your plan is for us to pay for it with our lives and those life insurance policies that you have out there attached to our lives, as well as the building insurance policy attached to this building. right? Right. Now, I'm not saying that the director, I mean the what's his name? That was the leather that was made. The developer. Now, I'm not saying that the developer is involved, but I'm not saying he's not either. All right, but let me Jacques Dubé. All right, chair and members. Jacques Dubé is chief admin for this council. But more importantly, David Hensby, you're the council on this proposed plan. See that? January 2022, huh, Bonnie? Mm-hmm. So, because that date is very, 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 very important. Because where was I in January 2022? Okay. So if this was proposed then that would make it premeditated for every single woman in here. Right, Bonnie? Right. But let's go further. Let's dig deeper. YWCA, you board of directors, y'all received $1.9 million for supportive housing. So while you're up there on the board of directors, Jan, and you're telling you come over here to sit in the resident meeting so Bonnie can see you at the resident meeting. I don't know what the fuck you did it for, but where's the fucking money? Because we haven't seen it inside this house. There's no programs, there's no activities, there's no nothing. So where's the money? Rhetorical. We already know where the money is. And a full audit, internal audit is coming. YWCA board of directors. Because I know you didn't think you were going to set up, management or support staff. And you've been doing it. The YWCA board of directors has been doing this for years. Cyberbullying grants. But y'all the ones cyberbullying. It's your hands that are dirty. Let me tell you why your hands are dirty. And let me tell you why passing the buck don't work here. First of all, this ain't no local shit. This is federal, okay? Secondly, support staff nor management staff has been here long enough for this to be them. They're not the source. The residents, not the source. Their grandfathers is Bonnie's source, or their great uncle, or whomever. Bonnie targeted these women because she was with one of them and she got rejected. And that's why we're the rejectables, and she wants to make us the rejected, like her ass was rejected by them men and by women across the border. And she couldn't come back home because she slept with everybody and talked shit about everybody. So she sits out there in a little corner of Gatineau doing this fuck shit and killing people. And she needs this building to go up in flames, like real, real, real bad. And historically, a lot of murders happen during Halloween. A lot of chaos. A lot of people not here no more. Now, Bonnie, I'm going to go over some things with those here because in Nova Scotia, okay? And I got a post going up so y'all can see, the bullshit they fucking do. It's every day. That got so much data. So, the owner of the company that was here today is Leon Murphy. Leon Murphy, I don't know if you're on the council or a council adjacent and everything or whatever. I really don't care. I know you're color-coded. I know that. And I know one thing, that if there's an electrical fire and I lose my life, Because I'm not going no fucking where. I'm not running. I'll be right the fuck here pressing the live button when shit go down. That's where the fuck I'll be. And right in somebody's face like this. As soon as they pull the fuck out. Y'all need this building that bad. Y'all are willing to risk your family's livelihoods. Because that's what's going to affect. If anything happens to me or any of these women in here, this is a historical site. You will never get another fucking Waverly Inn on this place. And that bid won't go through, and none of that shit will. This shit will be tied up for so long in court, you will get nothing. All because of Bonnie. You would take the most vulnerable women. This is the mindset. Put all these vulnerable women in this seemingly beautiful house for them to die in. You are some sick ass motherfuckers out there. And I know who the fuck I'm looking at when I'm looking at them. I can smell your energy. I can smell how greedy you fucking are. These women ain't do shit to you. I don't have to speak to anybody to know what's right and wrong. Two things can be true at the same time. So, let me show you something. I told y'all, every time I come back, it's going to get worse. Every single time. Except, I got an announcement for you. Halifax Council okays restoration to Waverly Inn. Council Wayne Mason said, I feel this does not meet the policy as written. And I'm going to check out that policy as written. Because it probably does not. But you see those loopholes. The problem with those loopholes, white boys in power, is this. Because Bonnie, you ain't got no fucking power. And you've been lying. White man, she's been lying to y'all. Yeah, yes she has. Yes she has. And you know, you're gonna sit back right now and, you know, like the white, I'm gonna call him a boy. The white boy that was, you know, looking at me salty as fuck today. Don't look at me salty as fuck. You go back and look at Bonnie salty as fuck. You laid down with her. Don't come here looking at me with your pillow talking stank face. I don't give a fuck about that. I give a fuck about children and women that are in danger. And it doesn't matter, Bonnie. It doesn't matter unless a motherfucker is pulling up. What you gonna do? Because no, nobody's done anything other than the scare tactics that you've done. But I'm here to tell you that if you decide that this place is gonna go up, I will be right here to start recording. Because if you blow it up, there goes that insurance policy. You need to make it look as natural as possible. Electrical file, right? Mm-hmm. If any, you know, push shocks go into these walls, Bonnie, after this video, because this video staying on public. Because y'all don't want to make shit public. You want to be private? No, we're going to make it public. Y'all ain't about to kill a bunch of women up in here because you think they're, you know, not worthy of life. What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway. So that's, this article was written in 2022. March of 2022. Right? 2 days after Bonnie's birthday. And it was written, you know, mostly by Bonnie. But Pam Berman is the reporter, right? And where'd she go? Girl, where you go at? Mm-hmm. There's another reporter too. Here's Pam Berman. See, Pam, there you go. Girl, there you go. And I already can see the color code on you. Yeah, girl, I can see the color code. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Nicola, also CBC, right? CBC, you're in a lot of fucking trouble. And you want to look at somebody, look at Bonnie. She is Lord. No, it's actually, your reporters are responsible for themselves. Except for the fact that I am pretty sure that the owner of CBC fucked Bonnie. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. See, this is what they want to put up. Ugh. This is what they want to put up. Right? Now, you need money to put that up. And you need to make sure that money is maximized. Because Bonnie's in debt. Because, see, you know, the insurance policy would be good, but you need to have, you know, your a return on investment, your ROI, Bonnie, right? And that would be us. We would be the collateral damage. And then the city would mourn. And their families would mourn. And people would do GoFundMes. Right? Go ahead. Which one of you motherfuckers out there want to commit mass murder and fuck up an historical site in Halifax, Nova Scotia? Nothing will be built here. It's a historical site. The only thing that can be built here is the Waverly Inn. Right, Bonnie? You bit off more than you could chew, Bonnie. That's what you did. Because you thought that in March of 2022, when you made that decision, and I was in Montreal, because I didn't come to live until June, you just knew you were going to humiliate me and have me committed in front of the world. That's what Sharita thought about Blaze. That's what Quincy thought about my brother Stevie. That's what Anthony Highland thought about Tasha. That's what Bonnie was going to try to do with Polisa, get her committed mentally. So now we're here. Scratch that. I don't think the persons, let me show you what persons I'm talking about. Because, you know, I'm very thorough when it comes to the shit I be talking about. There you go. See, I'm talking about y'all, the regional council. See that? That's y'all, right? And I'm talking about Krista Snow, because, you know, that's your dad, right? That's who my mother fucked, right? Yeah, it is. And she's with IG Wealth Management, you know, loans, grants, building loans and such, you know. Yeah, her too. And there she is right there. There's Krista. And, you know, here she is. Child, you know you slept with her husband. Right? Right? Yeah, you did. Choppy chop. Yeah, you did. So, and then there was, you know, today, very interesting. I just decided to go check some shit out. Motherfucker standing outside my window. I'm not gonna get too much into this picture, but why the fuck do people gotta stand outside your window like that? I go close my window and then he talks louder. Madden, is that Madden? I think it says Madden. Let me see, Madden Electric. Madden. And then Where's that other picture at? This one. Here it is. The Madden, Wadden, I said Madden, or Wadden, Wadden, or Wadden, Wadden. There was another vehicle parked today. Where's that picture at? Right here, I think. It's been busy today. It's getting busier. Oh, it's on my other phone. Okay, so another how'd I end up here? Oh God, that's a whole nother storyline. So, when I was living in Montreal, I didn't know it at the time that it was my mom and my family, and they decided to come through my door in my apartment because we were on live doing advocacy, protect the children, exposing like I Speak 1906 and other creators, and I was at home and just getting out the shower, and they came through my front door. I suppose it wasn't a wellness call, but it was a very aggressive wellness call, and it was on very unpleasant, unfortunate experience recorded, and I knew then that I had to leave. I just didn't know how. There were a sequence of events that happened that I'm going to keep for court. That, you know, I had decided to come back home here to Nova Scotia because in my mind, and also talking with God and the ancestors, it was supposed to be the safest. It was supposed to be the safest place for me because family's here. I did not know my family was involved, or I wouldn't have came back. Oh, I don't know, because if I would have known, I was like, I'm right knocking on everybody. What the fuck? But I did not know when I came back, so I decided to leave Montreal because there was a lot that was happening. There was a lot of confrontations, a lot of people coming to my door, a lot of spam calling, hacking of my internet, everything. It was horrible. And so I decided to come back home, and I did, and it's been, I wouldn't say downhill, but it's been all uphill. It's been all uphill from there. And so when I came back, I was initially with another family member, and then I ended up at my dad's house, and it was not a safe environment, so I decided to speak to an ancestor and made the decision to, well, I thought I was making the decision. I made a phone call to the phone. It's not a shelter line, it was like a housing line. And so from there, I guess your information goes. From there, I did not know at the time that Bonnie, my mother, got my information. As she always has done for every year of my life, my mother has controlled every aspect, including who my friends are, unbeknownst to me. I found out 90 days ago. So I went into the Brownie House shelter. I did a shelter intake. All of them know they're all color-coded, board of directors included. And that's how they started moving me around throughout, and I eventually got placed here. And that's specific to that timeline that I just outlined, because when I was in Brownie House and they departed, that's very funny, Bonnie. Did you choose depart because of deport? You're a weirdo. So the process for exiting the program there, not of your choice, is you're being departed from the program. And I was departed from the program because I was called a nigger and I reported it. The staff told me I was lying, and then and they sided with the resident that called me a nigger. And so I waited a couple days to see if they were going to do anything to that resident, and they did not. And then I went to staff with my audio, my footage, that I was called a nigger, and they departed her, but placed her in another place. And then within 3 weeks, and then I went on to, I spoke with CBC, with Nicola, on a housing crisis in Nova Scotia, not anything related to what happened there, and two other girls from residents. And then shortly after that, I was departed from there and taken back to my dad's house. Oh, actually, no. They actually lined up. They said they lined up an apartment for me, and I got all this data. And we're supposed to be, even took me to see the place. Otherwise, they were going to leave me right on the corner. There's nothing they could do. That's what they said. All recorded. And so they, instead of doing that, they said they found a place, just something to, push me off. Went through the whole process, went through everything, just for them to say, no, I didn't qualify, even though they said I had it. And this is all, I have all this data. So then from there, I went to my dad's house, not comfortable. Went to the park, or the waterfront, sat there, smoked a J, just kind of moved around a little bit, went to my aunt's house, chilled with her, went back to the bench, called a DCS worker, which, because of my accident, I was in an accident when I was at Brownie House. That was not an accident. My father tried to kill me in a conspired car accident. I don't want to talk about it now. It's just fucking exhausted. God. When you say it out loud, it's just like, oh my God, I can't do this. So this is how I ended up here. I've been moved around by Bonnie pretty much. And so I did not know that until 90 days ago that she was involved. Now that I know, I've been exposing it all. And right now, she has every single woman under this roof, or else. Do this or else. And that includes death. And we already had a death here. So it's not a scare tactic. It's actually happened. Yep. So, all for money. Like I said, I don't know if the developers are involved. It doesn't really matter to me if they are or not. It's all going to come out. I'm more focused today on this live for it, the safety and well-being of everybody under this roof. It's been intense because Bonnie is devolving, and she actually wants to be caught or destroyed or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Because some of the things she's doing is it's weird, for one, which, she's weird. But it's also very indicative of when a serial killer, knows they're caught. Like before I told y'all, she relies a lot on her being anonymous. The Wizard of Oz, so she relied heavily on that, and that's not the case anymore. Not only that, but all of Nova Scotia. This is small, but it's just everywhere right now. But that will also bring out those that, have been blackmailed by her for so long. They see me, they might think that we're close, or whether they think it or not, and just say, you know what, it's an eye for an eye. As type of atmosphere. It's very volatile here. And these women have, some of these women, not all, but some of these women have very sensitive mental states. So it's, and then they have families who Bonnie is also targeting. So it's very hectic. So we're in now hours before, I'm on Atlantic time. And so I'm 1 hour ahead of Eastern time. And this is the time frame that Bonnie is operating on. So when things start popping off, it's going to start popping off an hour before Eastern time. And it's going to run all the way through. So I wanted to come live to advise everybody across the world as it relates to BonnieLou, to stay inside. I'm stay inside. If, I mean, if anything happens, of course you have to go outside, but I'm, for the next 48 hours, I would suggest you staying as close to, your house and those your loved ones, because she thrives on making it look like an accident. And that's how they need to pull this off. And this date, these next 48 hours, is very, very significant to her responsibilities. So she reports to someone, right? But that someone, I don't know, they might end up being in court. I don't know. But I know that she is, there were 42 murders last Halloween related to Bonnie. 42. And even more years before. So all I'm saying is lock in and mind yourself. Get your food, get your snacks, get your whatever you need. Lock in, stay close, watch your perimeters, watch guests, watch everything. Because she needs this. And I'm especially talking about everybody. Nova Scotia. Okay? Because this is the source, the answers is beyond. The answers is be sending me signs like crazy. Lock into yourself. Use this time as self-care. Do your thing. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing self-care. I'm going to be doing some research. I'm going to be just doing all kinds of me things. Self. And be very vigilant with this. Tap into God. Tap into your ancestors. Just don't tap into the ones that cause destruction for, my white communities out there. Don't tap into those ones. Tap into the other ones that had good hearts. Because that's what we need. We need all good tap in. For, you little motherfucking instigators out there. I don't give a fuck about you instigating. You're a little bit of intimidation tactics. Out here looking like a fucking Ku Klux Klan fucking money. What? This is 2025, right? We can see you and record you and post you, right? And will. Ew. No wonder you know what, Bonnie? It's no wonder you ain't got no soul left. Look at all these motherfuckers you fuck. They ain't got no souls either. Disgusting. Y'all know when you have sex, well, I'm not gonna say it like that. When you make love, when you have love, when you enjoy, sexuality is not just fluids, but energy. You fucking a crazy one, you gonna be fucking crazy too. That energy is transferring. It might not be like right off the break, because that motherfucker probably wasn't crazy right off the break. That shit had to build up. You keep fucking that motherfucker, your crazy gonna build up. That shit is, y'all have to tap into your bodies, into your spirit. And I'm not I was where y'all were. Y'all see, Bonnie put me through. I didn't know what the fuck my brain, which way it was going for a minute. That's when she was trying to get me, get me diagnosed as crazy. You're not crazy. She is. Don't let her make your fucking mind go like this. As it comes to family, y'all out there have families. We are in an era of good and evil. You're gonna have to make some choices. It's not gonna be easy choices. It's not gonna be easy choices. The only thing I can tell you is to tell your family members to do whatever they can do to get to the light. But if you keep going to the darkness, you're gonna get sucked into it. And you're gonna stay there. You have to be the reason they want to get to that light. If there's no one, if they have no one around them, if they're around darkness, and they have no one around them showing them, oh, there's light right there, see that? I can't dwell in dark. There's nothing positive about darkness except me going to sleep. That's it. But I'm talking about that dark, you know what dark I'm talking about. That depression dark. It's okay to be there. Don't dwell there. And don't let that motherfucking BonnieLou motherfucker, oh shit, what was that for? What was that for? BonnieLou, fuck with your brain. Alright, so let's get back to this. That's Krista Snow. Alright, so let me show y'all something real quick. Yeah. Cause Chris, that David Miller, right, Bonnie? David Miller's grandmother, that's her, right? Mm-hmm. Cause see, David Miller, right? Cause he knows Charles Woods, Jesse Dodd's dad, right? Yeah. But this is the one. This is who you slept with, right, Bonnie? The politician. I told you, every time I come here, it's gonna get worse. But the problem with this politician right here, right? What's the problem with this politician right here, Bonnie, that you slept with? What's the problem? Cause see, Bonnie, you slept with Ford. You slept with Miller, right? You slept with Mary Berry too. You was the one that set him up. The bitch set me up. Just like you set up Ford in the same, almost identical fashion. It's called patterns. And you wrote shit. But then there's Ryan Murphy, right? And Ryan Murphy is a producer, right? Floyd Murphy. Child, Bonnie got motherfuckers. Carmen of Halifax, huh? Carmen of Halifax. Carmen of like Carmen of YWCA? There he is. There's Richard Leon Murphy. But there's another Leon Murphy. You know, the one, you know. Oh my God. There's this Leon Murphy. But this is the one you slept with. Right? Right. So the piece of mind is the heating and cooling company van that was sitting in the same spot as the Angel car was, and then the Ace van, right? Because Bonnie's name and all that. The owner of Peace of Mind Heating and Services in Nova Scotia is Leon Murphy. He serves as the president and is the principal contact for the business. Is an LLC that started in 2011. See? Peace of mind, Bonnie. Peace of mind. And there's them right outside my window. See it? And then they parked the electric truck right there. So let's get back to the council. Now that we understand the $1.9 million, when that audit is done, you know, when we get to the court, because, you know, CRA is going to want to know. Because, you know, y'all been trying to contain this on a, I don't know, whatever level y'all are on. And I'm pretty sure that there's one of you or two of you that has someone, you know, in a federal sector. Except, does that person in that federal sector want to lose their job? Because they can get to dance. I mean, I don't really care. I'm just asking, just be asking to be for real. I really only wanted to come live because I want to give some direction in case there's a fire here. Because if there's a fire here, you know, for the $1.9 million y'all received for supportive housing, there's not. How many fire extinguishers are in this motherfucker? How many fire extinguishers are in here? And where are they located? Do you know that we only are allowed as residents to go out one door? Now, there's multiple doors in here. And if we wanted to exit, it could be exited, except for the fact that they have electric locks on them. So, for example, if there's a fire, it could be, you know, noted as a malfunction of the electrical system because of an electrical fire that caused a dysfunction in the electrical wiring of these services here and locked all the doors in. Right? There's at least 30 women in here on a regular basis. See, YWCA, you have a problem on your hands. The board of directors, you have a serious fucking problem on your hands. if anything happens. Well, a lot of y'all have a problem on your hands if anything happens to any of us in here. But y'all will have a problem on your hands if anything happens to us in here, if there's a fire to this place, period. Any kind of fire. Any more deaths. Because one death is already being investigated. So, if there's a fire here because of the limited resources provided by the board of directors of the YWCA, I encourage the women here to not right now. If you have a fire, if there's a fire and you don't go to your window first, do this. Open your window, unless the fire's there. This is if the fire's not in front of your window, which it probably will not. But I know how to work this shit. Okay? But make sure you have sheets. If you have sheets, tie them in a knot. One to the other, end to the other. That's your rope. Wet it. Get it soaking wet. Tie it like a knot to something real, real tight that'll hold your weight. And start climbing down. There'll be a circular around this building, making sure everybody gets out safe. This shit is ridiculous. Again, my name is Tanya Michelle Fraser, official Tanya Michelle on all platforms, and myself and the entirety of the persons under this roof at the Waverly Inn located at 1266 Barrington Street in Halifax, Nova Scotia are not safe because Bonnie is utilizing board members to carry out a murder plots against all targeted persons under this roof. Police report was filed. RCMP tips were filed. So if something happens to this building, calling the police, they will only delay whatever they do. I'm not leaving. Do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do. So, make sure you have your sheets. Make sure I'm going to make sure I have everything lined up. If shit goes down next 48 hours, my shit's right here. I'm going to get out. And I'll make sure that most of everybody can get out that I can get to. If I can't get to you, I'm going to instruct you how to get out. So, she has done this before. And this is Halloween. And I encourage everybody not to participate in outside activities because she's watching you. She's been in your phone. The server here is hacked. The YWCA Board of Directors, Jan Murphy, is aware of this. I've told her my fucking self. And she has email communications of it. So our phone, they know where we go. They know what we do. And if you go out, just be careful because it'll be made to look like an accident and it's not. So that's all I can give you warnings for. But I'll be here, so we'll see. Yes, I've been doing my squats. I've been doing my squats. I'm proud of my progress, my workout progress. It's really good. But you gotta use that energy somewhere because otherwise you can literally my mind is just tired. I'm tired, y'all. Seriously, oh my God. The answer. The spirit team is on the signs are everywhere. They're everywhere. I just in my phone and outside, they're just everywhere. I don't know why y'all are fighting God. Y'all are fighting God. God wants good. Y'all want to continue the, because when the guy with the electric, he is like bothered because men are coming in here. These are vulnerable women. You don't have entitlement in here. So I ask questions. You're the electric company. What you here for? Oh, are you the owner? Okay. Well, appreciate your service. Thanks. But even with that, he was very bothered. And I could see it in his, like, some white people, y'all get real flush. You can tell. So he was flabbergasted. So I've been called a nigger here, matter of fact. But she's gone, so I don't get fucked. Bonnie, you really like her, huh? You must have really liked her dad. You must have really liked Mooney too. How about that? What's that dude's name? Lord have mercy. I was wondering why it was strange why this woman took her suitcase out of here when we had a fire. Makes sense to me now. Jeez. And you want us to believe what? You need this building burnt because you need the insurance policy on this building. It's not even, well, it is a point in killing me too, but you need this building burnt, whether I'm dead or alive. Because you can't recoup what you've spent. You spent a shitload of money on me last year and other creators to stop us. Okay? See, Bonnie, if you would have poured that money into me being a mother, you wouldn't even have to worry about these problems. I mean, shit, if you would have, went full term, this wouldn't even, but greed had you real early. Greed had you, you just knew because of how popular you were up home. You just knew that you was going to go to the U.S. and they were going to love you. It's see, I don't know what it was like in my, like how the developmental teenage girl years would be. So I don't know what, I know she was spoiled, and she was around all family, and she was family. So the whole situation with my dad, that rejection from my dad, because he was the one who filed for divorce. I saw that. I did, Bonnie. I got that. That's in my other laptop. He filed for divorce. And when he filed for divorce, she did, but a lot of these women we see, though, she spazzed the fuck out. And I am the result. I mean, I was on the other end of that spaz. So, and she was never, ever going to allow me to be around my dad. Not ever. But she would blame me. So, and I even told her, like, you don't like me because I remind you of my dad. And she said, you're probably right. But it's not that. Hey, Water. Good to see you too, Water. Thank you. She didn't want any kids. She wanted money. She wanted what she saw, the women in the U.S. Because Bonnie liked a lot of white women. Like, actually, I wouldn't even say that. I don't think Bonnie really liked, initially she liked her own community. But the rejection from my brother's dad, I think she was really in love with my brother's dad. Like, I think she really wanted that to work. And when that didn't work, because if he would have had, see, I don't think it mattered to her whether he liked her or not. She wanted to have that girl with him because he was popular. So if she's the popular and then he's the popular, then they'll have this amazing whatever, right? But she had a boy. She had my brother. So, yeah. And then when she got rejected by his father, she ran through the community some more. You know, and this is small communities, so your name gets fat, you spread around fast. And this is, she wasn't forced. She participated fully. There was nobody there, you know, setting her up or trying to manipulate the situation. And she learned up in that time frame that having a light-skinned baby would be more profitable and would get her out of Nova Scotia and North Preston. So that's what she did. That's why she targeted my dad. Because my dad was with my brother's mother. My dad was with my brother's mother. Yeah, my dad was with my brother's mother, and then when that didn't work out, and he was the most popular. And oh wow, I just thought about that. Yeah. So she went after my you're giving it up. My dad was like, sure. You know, and my dad was like, she was fine. She was fine as shit. So my dad was like, yeah, I had to get at that. She's fine. And these are two different, they didn't grow up in the same, because there's Cherrybrook and then there's North Preston. So he was like, she was the finest thing in North Preston. Yeah, I had to get with that. So, and then, but my mother, you know, my dad wanted to be with my mom, but my mom, you know, finessed him, and she didn't want to be with him. She just wanted the baby. Well, actually, I don't know that. She might have wanted to be with him, but she wanted to control him. And you can't, actually, you can, apparently, right, Billy? Because that's what she ended up doing. Huh? And you said, you always tell me I should have been a boy. No, the fuck not. I would never, ever want to be a boy. I would go through all the issues women go through before I ever want to be a man. Oh, boy. So, yeah, it's called rejection, Bonnie. And she went to the U.S. and it just didn't work out. But she was too ashamed, I guess. I mean, to her, Nova Scotia was nothing to come back to, because she had already talked shit and said she was going to go be better than everybody else. Remember when Anthony Highland was saying that? That's how Bonnie thought, too. And she knew if I found out about the program or whatever, that I would go right back. I would have been right back at home. I would have built my house right next to Mama. I would have built my motherfucking my lot right there, right next to Mama, right between my auntie house. I mean, this is land. So I would have built my house right there and would. But that would have been like, Tanya got to be for Bonnie. And I would have, because I would have been with Gary. Right? So we would have had our kids and on the land and the house next to Mama, and that would have been that. And we would travel back and forth, whatever. But that would have been under the program. And Bonnie had already fucked up her shit. And then she didn't want my kids to get theirs. She didn't want aunt, my cousin Luella to get hurt. My aunt, excuse me, aunt. I have an aunt Ella, and a cousin Ella too. So my aunt Ella. She got, you got that woman's house right there. Oh, man. The same thing with, like, she's taking people's land from them. She is taking people's ancestral land from them. Not just me, I'm talking about people who have stayed here and given it away for nothing. I mean, the files is stacking. So all of y'all at the, the land and the property offices and all that, I'm talking to all of y'all. The courtrooms, the federal authorities are going to, oh my God, the audits are going to be insane. Because here's the thing, they've already been under scrutiny, YWCA Board of Directors. They already had some scammy issues before. Now this, but anyway, let's get back to this. So this is a historical site, right? Now, when we get into things, because one of the things that has been an issue is, no, I can't say that. Never mind. See, this is a heritage property. Let's see. Let me go over some things for y'all out there. A heritage property okay. There we go. This is what I needed. So, it's currently under the Heritage, the Heritage Property Act, right? The only way that this place can be deregistered from the Act, heritage property, if it is destroyed or damaged, or if its heritage value is lost, unless the loss was due to the owner's neglect. Through this process is also overseen by the Heritage Advisory Committee and Council. So neglect is also overseen by the Heritage Advisory Committee and Council, which are cult members like I just showed y'all. See, here's the issue for y'all. Because this is a heritage district. See, certain places in everywhere, you can go up and down streets, right? And you can see a house. And that house That house is protected under the Heritage Act, but not the rest of the street. But that house is, right? In their mind, in Bonnie's mind, Bonnie, this whole district, this is where you fucked up. First of all, you fucked up in a couple places. This whole district is heritage, right? So you need it to look like a natural act, not neglect, like, or, intentional. Like an electrical fire. This is undetectable, except for now. But anyway, this is a heritage. This building, regardless, is going to be a heritage building. Now, what does that mean? That means the owner does not want to lose the value of their building or the history. They get benefit from that. And there's history. These motherfuckers around here go crazy if the Waverly Inn disappears. Child, let me tell you something. These motherfuckers will go crazy. People still come to here and tourist and ask to stay here. And this shit's been closed for a few years. Which then leads to another thing. Why would you house people in a place that was, could go up in one match? That's neglect. Vulnerable people at that. That's super neglect. Put a cape on. You're going to do a super bed. So, Heritage District. It changes because they've already established this area long before Bonnie as a heritage district. This is downtown. It's about a block from the waterfront. So the owner of this building is going to want to make a state, like, be out of commission for years. It's already been out of commission. He's losing money. But they're getting a government stipend because of the supportive housing. See how you fucked up, Bonnie? You see what kind of mess you were in? Or I should say the government. Y'all are torturing these women here. The board of directors, that is you. You know. You know who Bonnie is. Wait till they get to y'all motherfucking emails and shit. Doesn't matter if it comes from Sue. Say if sent, Bonnie sent it to Sue and sent it to Bob and sent it to Charlene. I don't give a fuck. They are going to they're gonna clean sweep the board of directors across all of YWCA. I feel that's what's gonna happen. There'll be a whole new board. This shit is ridiculous. I have like all y'all women. Y'all ain't talking about men. I mean, granted, men too, because there's a lot of men involved in this. I'm talking about the YWCA board of directors. Ain't no men there. And ain't no black women or women of color making any money financial decisions on where that money's going either. I just want to let you know that, in my years of working in the corporate structure, also in the contracts, for government bids, I would train those that do forensic type analytics. I would train them, and then they would position them in these cushy ass positions, as y'all know, right? Board of directors, because that's how it goes, right? Except my levels of forensics are much higher than theirs, so I never needed a white-run university. I never knew any university. You could do it all on your own, and hands-on training and lived experiences always outweighs. And none of y'all come from an era of research like some of y'all do, but y'all didn't practice it. But research, I love. Learning, I love. And taking down corrupt systems that target the vulnerable, the children. Not to say that I love it, but I love to see it out of my community, out of all communities. Nobody deserves this shit. Nobody. Nobody deserves to have to wonder if they go outside, is they're gonna get, whatever happens because BonnieLou didn't get her fucking way. Nobody should be on a schedule to do this, or that for Bonnie. Nobody. Like, what the fuck do you think you are? I almost did 2 hours. Did I do 2 hours? Or was that 1 hour? That's 2 hours. I think it's 2 hours. Let me see. Oh, I can look right here. I thought I was on TikTok. 73 minutes. Okay. Good. I don't even have to worry about upload, download, and all that shit. So, again, I'm just going to put it in the description what to do in case. Then I'll be just up in rotation, checking shit. Because that's the way they're going to do it. Oh, somebody used, and they'll blame it on the resident. Someone plugged in something extra that shouldn't have been, and we told them, and let's see what else I got. So this has to go up in a natural occurrence. And it has to, which would displace us. Also, that's another factor, which would displace every woman here, which is another trauma, right? And more funds. Like, it's going to cost them to put us in another place. And then to, separate persons, because there are women in here who have relationships with each other. They are supportive to each other. And so they would most likely separate them purposely because that's how chaotic Bonnie is. I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't going nowhere. And there'll be instructions under this YouTube for if the fire does happen here, because we have limited resources, because that 1.9 mil didn't come in here. So I'm going to put those instructions. Make sure you have sheets, and make sure you have a go plan. If anything happens, make sure you know where the fire is first, and then you start your action. If you can, get the fuck out, okay? If you are in an area where it seems like the fire is blocking you and you're up higher, get them sheets, start tying a knot, and then tie it again in a knot. And do that with at least 4 sheets. Wet the sheets, and then throw that shit out the window. And tie something inside that will hold your weight, and tie that shit in a double knot, and just get outside the window, and there'll be people around. You will have help. What else? If a fire does break out, start yelling. Let everybody know where everybody's at. I know that's probably something that will happen naturally, because something happening to this place and our livelihood or our safety usually kicks in, for the most part, those who, have moral compass to want to help. But if not, y'all will be hearing my voice. You know that. You know that shit. You don't hear me. There'll probably be delays in the fire department and the police department, as we know that they're involved. Well, some of them, and they'll take their time. So the insurance claim will see a lot of fire damage. What else? She's done this before, y'all. She's done this before. I don't understand. You've been chaotic all your life, Bonnie. Like all your life. That's just crazy work. I could never. And then someone don't want me. Bye. Like, now there might have been times in my life where shit I was in love and but never over months. And my husband. God, man. And that was coerced and manipulated, so I don't even know if that was fucking like, oh my God. This is just crazy ass. I love those vases. Those are so pretty. I'm gonna make some more but different colors. I like that a lot. Oh my God. I can't believe this is my life. I can't believe this shit. This is the most, I don't even, Anyway. So there's that. And that's that. And with that, I will not be going live anymore. I will not be live. I'm done. I might, if my camera comes on TikTok, it'll just be for music, but I don't even think I'll be doing that. I am absolutely just watching and collecting data, and I just don't. It's maybe it's because it's the first time in my life that I really like my life. My life has been heavily monitored and not my own for all my life, and this is the first time in all my life that like I'm gonna be real selfish about my private time, and I never came to this app for this, so to be here this long is irritating as fuck because I've had to repeat myself every year for 4 years just to get home to find out that multiple family members ain't shit. Ain't never gonna be shit. And in an instant, I lost everything and found everything at the same time. It's, I don't want to be in front of the world like this. If anything, like I said when I came on here, I'm bigger than TikTok. And as far as bringing forth content that is beneficial to not just my community, but all communities, because we all have children, is very, very important. I've seen a lot of you women out there that call yourselves women, call yourselves mothers, that will sell your own children out for $1. But yet you get up here and talk about R. Kelly, and you'll talk about, but you won't talk about, your, Elvis Presley's and shit. So I'm gonna stay focused on children because in the talking about children, and this is when I say I'm gonna just focus on talking about children. I'm gonna keep what's happening as it relates, because that's why I came on this app. I made a post to a creator about their involvement. I mean, them saying specific things, but my children being put up on a green screen is the white reason I was on this app. And I only am going to do what I would want my mother, or you would want your mother, or your elder family female provider or male provider to do. And it's no wonder the children are going through the things they're going through in this world because of people like you. Take it how it resonates. That will never be me. And, you know, with everything that my family has done to me, I am looking forward to moving on. Like, what? Fuck. My father tried to kill me. To him, it was an accident. Or accident fraud. I mean, you know, an accident claim. But you can't control shit when it's in that environment. He wasn't hit on his side. We were T-boned on my side. Flipped on two wheels. That's attempted murder. So, and then as it relates to any other members of my family who, you know, are out there telling my story, my truth, have the life you deserve. That's all I can say about that. As it relates to Bonnie, you ho, look. No, I am done. I am done. I had thought about being real, you know, what's the word? What's the word when you're thinking about the past? I was going to take a trip down memory lane and post up a DND. I wasn't even going to go live. I was going to put the DND up. But then as things were happening around here, I was like, no, let me go live. Let me get it on record on YouTube so it could save and then it could just be here. Just in case anything happens, because the developers and the insurance company and all y'all motherfuckers that, you know, think that you can pull this off, this will be here. This video will be right on the YouTube. And other people are out there recording it. So there's that. And then there's, you know, the investigation that's going to happen after the fire. Because, you know, if there's a fire here and anything happens, there will be, you know, awareness pieces brought forth as it relates to, you know, those involved in making the decision on this building while there's vulnerable women in here. Now, I want to know why the YWCA, oh, I know why they did it, but I want to know why the board of directors is promoted this as 5 years. It's not. That's 3 years from a year and a half ago. So we're on crunch time, right, Bonnie? Mm-hmm. You spent this money, right? You spent the money that you received. Yeah, you did. Anyway, let me just say this. To the developers, you know, if you would have someone like myself handling your operations or whatever you do, you wouldn't be in this situation. As it is, BonnieLou is the one who's got you into the situation. Now, if you are interested in, you know, a way to, because right now, the YWCA program is supposed to be providing supportive housing. And this is very important to you, Grafton or Guyton or whatever, developers. Very important for you, council people. You would want to move forward with the best interest of with everybody's best interest that's under this roof in mind. Your livelihoods, your reputation, and whatever happens to the lot, the site of this building is on you. This shit will get held up forever. Forever. And money will be lost in abundance. So, are we back? Ooh, she's mad. She's mad. Let's see if we're still good. Yeah, we're good? Okay. All right, so I would encourage everybody under this roof to lock in, get your snacks, get your food, get everything. Make sure that you have a person that you know you can rely on to talk to or whatever in case create a kind of like a buddy system. Make sure that you know I would keep it inside at nights, especially. This is a Halloween season. Like I said, there's been a lot of murders. This is what she does, and she is desperate for money. And she's desperate also to feed that kill sensation. This is a real thing. So I would lock in. I would get your food, get your drinks, put it in the air like you just don't give a fuck, or you do. Make sure that you are checking, make sure your plugs and everything like that. Just make sure your perimeter is secure. And again, I'm gonna put under this video, because this video will be public, I'll put what to do under there in case of fire. I'm going to do a security check and see some things that I noticed, and I'll put that in the description as well as something that will be a helpful tip. Be mindful that these doors can lock. If there's an electrical charge that all of a sudden, current just locks the door. So be mindful. Have 1, 2, 3 escape routes planned, okay? Also, remember the sheets. Make sure if you don't have enough sheets, ask someone, do you have enough sheets? If you don't have enough sheets, go get some dollar store sheets, or do they have dollar store sheets, or wherever. Just get a couple sheets, enough sheets that you can tie in a double knot, that you can tie to something inside from your window. Somebody will be out there to help you. And this is just better safe than sorry, because I know what she's capable of. And so do y'all, most of y'all. So I think that's it. Let me see. Yeah. I gotta go out and feed the birds. I gotta go out and feed the birds and make me something to eat. I will not be, like I said, I will not be coming back live. I will see everybody in court, for those who show up. But I will be here watching and just collecting data. I am following some of the blog pages so I can see what's going on out there, because it doesn't stop. Even, when in the world of greed, when one greedy empire, so to speak, falls, there'll be one right behind it. But right now, things are real hot. So, no one's really wanting to test their gangster. Same thing around here with, like the dude right there. They don't want to yell outside my window and somebody else's window. And this other person's window, they do it for a specific reason. Y'all are you're not smart cookies. No, excuse me, you're not smart Neanders at all. That's why you looked at me like you looked at me, because I looked at you like, I know what the fuck is up. Stop fucking playing with me. Y'all started blasting, hello, it's me. Like, I full blast, put it right there, because they were right there. And I closed my window, and then he got louder, and I was on my bed. So, oh, you getting louder. Oh, you getting okay. Y'all know my speaker, right? And I put Cardi on right the fuck there, blasted that shit. Now, what the fuck? What you gonna do? You can't have no fucking conversation with Cardi in your motherfucking ear, ho. But they tried to stand there. I got the whole thing recorded and put it up there. I'll post it. I'll post it. So, 48 hours, y'all. And be safe, and love each other. Lead with love. That's what's gonna get us through, and not fearing. Don't fear it. You know, look at them motherfuckers right the fuck back. All right. Everybody out there, be safe across the border. We know how it gets across the border. And, you know, there's a lot of super mad motherfuckers. So just stay safe, lock in, don't, you know, don't do anything extra that you don't. This is Halloween. So make sure to keep the kids inside. Go buy them some candy, make a little like Halloween party inside and turn up and all that type of shit. Don't go outside. And even if you want to do a little haunted house, like a little scoop, like a kid-friendly haunted house, you know, darken one of the rooms, go get your dollar store shit, make it, do something creative at home. Make sure it's safe. Especially those who are, you know, a part of the originating crew, because they really want our heads. So stay safe, and I'll be watching. And I can't say I will see you next live, because I will not, but I will see y'all in court. For those I see you, and for those, everybody else, I'll see you at the finish line.